Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got something special for you guys today, so keep watching. Alright, we working under here. We got the pin up. We ready to do a little damage. We're starting to break this bad boy down. We doing it. Got the headers off on one side. And take off. Getting it done. Well, my cousin left me. He had to get back on that road behind the wheel of that 18-wheeler. As you can see, we got most of the, well, we got all of the top end off, the intake and wires and headers and everything front end. But next I'm gonna have to take these heads off and see what the problem is and go a little deeper. You're gonna see in the next couple of shots what actually happened. The thing bust down. The cylinders don't look too bad. You can still see some of that cross hatching in some of them. LS7 lifters, trays, everything out, push rods. Everything I can break down from the top is cam gear out. See my cam bearing? That's like to look bad. I was just gonna run it like that and send it. This side, let's see. You can push this. Look, watch this. See how much this thing dropped? Y'all hear that? That's my knock. That was the problem. This cylinder right here. There we go. Trying to get this motor out today. Let's see what we can do. Gonna loosen the flywheel bolts. I got the transmission jacked up. I got a couple blocks just so the transmission can rest on that. I need to take these bolts out the bell housing on the back of the transmission, on the back of the engine, front of the transmission, the bell housing bolts, and that's it. Engine can come out. I'm gonna try to do this just taking the engine out. I got some plywood. I'm gonna use that big sheet of plywood, put under there, put my engine hoist. Get the engine hoist and go from there. Hopefully I don't run into any issues, man. Wish I had concrete, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So I chime back in a little bit. You know, somebody told me today, if I want to be riding, I'm gonna have to make it happen by any means necessary. By any means necessary, baby. So here's the setup we got. Hopefully these plywood will hold up. I'm pretty sure it will. But hopefully we'll get this thing in and out with no problems. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. One man band over here. Slow and steady, boy. I'm gonna win the race. I got that bad boy out. You know, first time by myself getting it done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just getting a little bit of footage. See them bearings, boy. That's why this thing didn't last right there. That's why they didn't last right there. But let's keep it going. Got it out. Got that bad boy out. And now that sucker is on its back. I'm about to pop that oil pan off. Let's see how the inside look, cause one of them bearings is messed up in there, so we're gonna see. We're gonna check them out. Man, it looked like it would have been a matter of time, boy. Look how dirty that thing is, boy. Look at it, boy. That's so much. That sucker is almost like paste, boy. Is that metal? Yeah. Look at that. Ooh wee, but that bearing is gone. I think that bearing gone, boy. Bearing. That was my problem right there. That's the only one. That's the one that was rocking. That's all the metal flakes in the oil pan. Look how thick that is. That's all metal. That's the winning tray. Metal. Run a double timing chain. It's messed up my milling oil pump. Double timing chain. If you can see, it was hitting right there. It was hitting right here. The insides looked like it was rubbing somewhere in there. So what I'm gonna say is, from the middle coming off the back of the oil pump from the double timing chain setup could have faulted my motor. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the oil pump feeds, once it picks up the oil from the oil pan, it feeds this bearing first and then follow suit. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. But I believe it feeds this bearing first, and it probably was feeding trash to this bearing, and this bearing couldn't handle it and gave out. Got too much heat, got too much metal in there rotating, and gave out. That's my conclusion so far. But we'll keep diving in and see what else we can find. But as of now I'm about to take these bolts out and take that bearing apart. Take a look at it. This is what a trash bearing looks like, a spun bearing at that. But on a side note, I got a new donor, 6.0 baby.
Second stud up, got a nut on it.
Hey man, look who we find out here, man.
Got a nut on it, and that's 13.
Look who we find. Say what's up to Kevin.
What's up?
Auntie under there. Man, I was so happy, you can tell, can't you? Man, I found this motor in the yard at the right time, just before going out of town with the family on vacation. I had people to help me in the junkyard and everything. My boy Vontae and Brad helping me. Perfect timing. All right, we getting ready. I'm about to bust this thing down. I don't know, y'all can see that somewhere in there. There we go. Getting everything ready. Breaking that bad boy down. About to wash it, clean it up. We doing it. Boy, hot out here. Sweating. Putting our work in. Blood, sweat, and tears.
I ain't crying yet.
Go ahead and get that motor painted up. Just the block. Getting that block painted. Breaking the 6.0 down. Lifter's looking good out of the 6.0. Everything so far looking good. I'm gonna just take these heads off and put them back on and go from there. I wanted to open it up and see what it's looking like. One side down. Okay, got the piston out. Trying to show you how it looks. That's you can tell it needs to be replaced, but it don't look that bad to me, at least. But that's the side rings. I think those are 1.5. And let me see the sidewall of the piston, a little bit of wear. Everything else looks fine from what I can tell. I don't know too much. That's the crank. Looks okay. And then the cylinder wall. It just looked like it need to be honed out. It's kind of shiny. I see a little bit of cross hatching, but you can barely see it. I also want to make note. This is the front of the piston right there with the little dot. Dot right there, if you can see it. Right there on that corner. And you see one of the gaps right there. Another one like right there. They look too close to be. And then I don't see the oil. I don't see the oil separated. The oil sleeve, I don't see what that is. I see a little split right there, and another little split right there. But as far as the gaps on the ring, they're right next to each other. So I just want to make mention of that. Trying to get this thing done. Well, as you can see, I'm on piston duty. I'm getting these pistons cleaned up to get ready to put back in. We also honed the block. They did a nice job of honing the block with the ball honer or whatever you call it. They really came in clutch, helping me build this short block back. They also gapped the rings, and as you can see, we put the pistons back in. They didn't want to be on camera, so try to get as much clips as I can get without having them on camera. Right, so you don't want to be on. I forgot to start recording, but I done scraped it a little bit. As you can see, I'm getting these heads, this block right. Done did this side pretty good. Still got one more step to do before I start cleaning. Pretty much scraping all the old gasket material off with this. And then I am going over with an 80 grit ball that I got from Harbor Freight. Make sure I dropped all the pistons down and the cylinders, and then go from there. Making some progress. I think I'm done with these surfaces now. Cleaned up pretty nicely. So let's keep it moving. Getting that timing chain back in. Bolts. We're gonna try this double timing chain out again. See if it's rubbing, what's going on, and go from there. All right, I'm getting further along. Got the windows tray, the oil pump, if I didn't have it on already. Because I have the double timing chain and this is moved forward, getting this pickup tube on the motor is hard, so that always take a little while, but got it on. About to put this front cover on and the oil pan. We'll tap back in a little bit. Getting them lifters in. Got the oil pan on, front cover. I done did the dog bone and the rear cover, rear main. We getting it. And just the first side, and I'll move over to the other side. Yes, sir. That's how the heads look before. And that's one already on it. I'm gonna have to repaint that motor, but that's all good. We getting it done. Back in, getting these motor mounts. Installing these motor mounts in. Transmission already on. Gotta bolt up that flywheel. Normal stuff. Getting it done. We're almost there. All right, we're gonna try to get this thing started. It's gonna be the first start of the 6.0. I have not started, so hopefully everything go well. I done primed the motor. Hooking up these coil packs. And turn the motor over with the coil packs disconnected. And the fuel is hooked up. The coil packs are hooked up. now everything should, it's gonna be loud, so
Then you go to the school with us.
there we have it. As you can see, it is a success, and I'm not a professional. It's like the second time I've done this, so I may not be doing everything correct, but it worked for me. Thanks for watching.